Well, hello. I just wanted to make a short video about winter feeding. Uh, Seen some questions from some new beginners forums, and I'm just gonna tell you how I do it. Maybe it will help or something that you may want to integrate in your operation. Maybe it is a good idea for you, maybe it's not, because of the different locations, um, um, temperatures, etc. So this is one of my girls. Home, I keep those that are struggling or the ones that I breed from. This is a Russian colony. It's one of my breeders, and it is 41 degrees. Most of my bees come out on forage at 45 degrees. These girls are doing it at 41. There is a few coming in and out, not too many. But okay, so now through feeding, I do it a little bit different. Uh, um, my operation is focused more on breeding and than on honey. So on July harvest, I keep anywhere from 20 to 30 medium frames of honey. I put them in refrigerators. I also keep a few deeps with honey. And the reason is by the time they go into winter, so our first freeze is usually around Thanksgiving, and that's a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, or by Thanksgiving is by the time that I'm done with the winter preparations. And those preparations are, I make sure that all the girls are on the bottom, that they have one or two frames of honey on the sides, and the queen and the girls here. And the one on top, in this case, this is a Lyson insulated hive, and it has a 6 frame. So the 6 frames on top, they have either 6 frames full of honey, or the one in the middle is just empty for the girls to come up and the queen to lay eggs and do her thing, right? So that is my preparation. So for one, I make sure that this thing is full of honey. The thing that I do a little bit different is I feed sugar bricks, but I do not feed sugar bricks as emergency feed. So my idea is, so the winters here are not as aggressive or as hard as the northern states, and but in any case, it gives me the opportunity to open a couple of times during winter here to make sure I go to the yards, weigh the hives to see how they're doing. But in the beginning, right by the first freeze in November, or usually the first time that I put a sugar brick is as a Christmas gift. So right around the time of Christmas, I put a sugar brick on every hive. Okay, from December to mid-February, usually use 1 or 2 bricks per hive, depending on the population that they have. Some of them will use 2, some of them will use 3. And again, as for the size, I can put a 2x2 piece of pollen patty, or up to a half a pound, depending on the population, right? And that's just to keep a little bit of brood in there for the girls. I have some protein because a lot of the times here during winter we have temperatures of 60, 70, and they're going to be active. They're going to be out and about, and they're not going to find anything. So I have those kinds of feeds just for them to keep them going and not starve, right? So I use, oh, there's one girl. So I use a sugar brick for 2 reasons. One is I want to minimize the consumption of honey in the beginning of the winter. Okay, I want them to eat the honey, have enough honey for when the worst weeks of winter come. So when the worst weeks of winter come, they have enough honey that serves one as insulation, because the honey will help them, the walls of honey will help them kill the temperature better. And they have feed, they can feed off the honey too. And so if they eat the sugar brick first, then they'll have honey for the worst parts of winter. So that is one. And the second reason is to keep them alive, to keep them going. You can actually see the difference. So last couple of weeks, I go and I barely see any movement. I don't know if the girls are alive or not. And I open and they're there. I put a sugar brick, and a half hour later, it's like they're all coming out. You know, they have enough energy to go on forage. So that's one of the reasons, okay? The other reason that I feed sugar is, well, here in this mild winters, if you can actually call them winters, is the bees are not going to suffer from nosema. But if you live in the northern states, sugar can help you. The sugar that you feed is a simplex sugar. It's nothing but energy, and it will not saturate their guts with with solids. As a honey is a complex sugar. It has enzyme, it has a lot of things, micropollen, etc. And that's why the guts get filled. And if they have a couple of weeks or extended periods without going on cleansing flights, they can get nosema. Okay, so that's one of the reasons of feeding sugar. If you have some harsh winters, sugar will help to prevent nosema in that case. So again, in this case, this is empty space, so I don't need to use a feeding shim as I do in the Landstrom hives. So sugar is here. They can retain as much honey as possible. So when the worst parts of winter come, they have a little bit of insulation and feed at the same time. So if that's something that it can work for you, try it, give it a try.